is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Yeah! Alright, the show goes on all night. Till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun up? Just remember when you come up, the show goes on.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Anthony's Bar and Grill, Burger King, Fine Threads, John's Department Store, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, and Print Masters.
Have you ever had the feeling that you was being had? Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through half. I don't switch up, I just laugh. Put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they see, that's how that shit tell me, man. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold on.
You've got it locked and loaded to the Wednesday, February 4th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ in your company right up until 6 p.m. on this Hump Day edition, Wednesday. And like I say, it is Wednesday, open line Wednesday. We got lots to talk about. Lots and lots to talk about. What's going on, MJ?
It's all good. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. It's like a little bit warmer today, but not, warm enough to have to put on the AC, so I'm happy for that.
I want nothing to do with the AC around
or
here.
BPL or the bills.
That
It's
too.
too much. It's a lot.
I just don't want the AC to freak out around here.
What do you mean?
Because I swear they store meat
Oh, it's so
and
cold.
cadavers from the
It
morgue
is
that
cold
has
in
no
here.
space
But
overnight.
we've always known for the equipment, they keep it colder than probably even normal businesses. So
I think
for the
they
sound equipment. So.
I think they hired Jack Frost as production director though, because it got to be
it's
minus
chilly,
40 all
but
the
I
time.
like it. I like it.
So I'm just hoping it don't kick in. I hope it kick in at like 6:01.
Yes.
When you hear that dreaded gum gum, you know that man, the Night King, all the Frosties behind him. All right, but like I said, if you want to chime in, if you want to be part of the conversation, here's how.
Here's how you can become a talking head. Brought to you by BTC.
Text lines powered by BTC 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Phone lines open in New Providence 323-6232, 325-4259, 325-4316. Toll free in any one of the family islands 242-300-5720, 242-300-5720. Stream us live, take us wherever you want to go. GuardianTalkRadio.com. That's GuardianTalkRadio.com. Cable channel 969, BTC Flow channel 612. That's how you get it in. That's how you get it on for fresh news, smart talk all day, right here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. And of course, a big part of the conversation, MJ, is definitely the headlines. And when
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
to take nothing away from any of the other candidates who ratified, it seems like the headlines is the Rick Fox lines today, because everybody
for sure.
making all the headlines is Rick
It's
Fox.
crazy.
And blazing up the pages of the Nassau Guardian, big headline for today, Wednesday, February 4th. Rick Fox joins the F&M.
That he did.
Now, I just want to go on record, and I learned this a long time ago from a good friend, my colleague, Mr. Ortland H. Bodie Jr. Bodie always used to say, it ain't bragging if it's true. First, when we beat you, don't take it as no problem with what I say afterwards, because it ain't going to be bragging. It could be true, but you're still my boy. And yes, I know you're a Bud Light lover, Bodie. Send your driver. I got the hookup for you out for the Super Bowl this
Not
weekend.
the driver.
Make sure, you know how Bodie go, man. But you know, come on, MJ. You know how Bodie go.
I remember.
So, Bodie, make sure link me, contact me, get at me. I
remember.
got a case of Bud Light for you, man. Use my good old brethren from that time. But, yeah. It ain't bragging if it's true. The whole ripple in the pond when it came to Rick Fox, right here on Talking Heads.
He did answer a lot of questions. I thought
lot
he
of
explained
questions.
a lot about who he was and his background. And
Later on, we alluded to it here on Talking Heads. Rick Fox for Garden Hills.
mm-hmm. And looks like it's going to be
And
Rick Fox
here-
for Garden Hills.
We are.
Yeah.
And he answered a lot of questions. I find, and again, look at the other ratified candidates. Take nothing away from them.
There were a lot of
Dr.
very
Andre
interesting
Rollins making a
candidates.
return to frontline politics in Long Island. Carlton Bodeg down in Bimini.
Another return face, yes.
Gladwell McDonald in Nassau Village.
Yes.
Well,
Very
well,
familiar
well.
with him.
We'd like to say goodbye and farewell to our broadcast colleague, Mr. Darvin Russell.
I
who
was
obviously
wondering
have
if
to-
that was the same person. Okay.
I have to step away from the mic on this one, but he's got the nod for Centerville. This one here, Julian Gibson, great
Yeah,
nomination
you
there.
were really surprised. Not surprised, but you were like, okay, that's my boy. Good stuff there for him.
And he's got, he put in his dues. Just like people want to talk about Obi Roberts putting in his dues, Julian Gibson has put in his too. So I'm glad to see he got
That's
the nod.
Andros, correct? Is
Yep.
that Andros? Yes, okay.
Then you got Charlene Reed, another good choice right there
Okay.
for her constituency. Then you got, now listen here. The nurses done run out now.
Well,
They didn't send Janice Oliver, go forth and represent us. And I'm mad at them because obviously they need a voice, but obviously that's another good selection there. Jamal Moss
right.
picking up the mantle in St.
Former
Barnabas.
senator, correct?
Former senator, been there, done that, got the T-shirts, no savvy veteran of politics, been around a
he's
couple
been around
elections
for a while.
and on a couple sides of the fences. So yeah,
Really? It's always been F&M, correct?
correct. But
Right.
everybody got fences sometimes.
Internal fence. Okay. Oh, I don't know.
Just another one I was glad to see was Jay Philippe, somebody who's represented us at the national level playing basketball, internationally at the collegiate level, come back home and just pour himself into to Grand Bahama in basketball and youth programs down there, as well as
Okay.
being a sports broadcaster. I don't agree with all of Jay's sports takes all the time, but hey, we
All
still
right.
common ground Lakers, and it's all good. I have no problem with Jay. That's my brother right there. Playing on all the parks, from the Priory to the Bridge, to the inner city parks, to the Baintown community. He is Baintown.
Okay.
He is Baintown. Don't mind him saying, but I had to relocate to Grand Bahama for a job. It's just as much as he's immersed himself into Grand Bahama, he is Baintown. Naval String in Baintown. So
And that's the constituency he's vying for.
correct. And you have to look at it. And then you got Mike Holmes, and you got the deputy leader
Mike
as well.
Holmes, that's Cat Island, correct?
Correct. And then you got Shannon Don Cartwright, the deputy leader in the St. James.
Who's now
seat.
in St. James.
So the F&M is ratified. They're going to have two more to name, and pretty much one is a no-brainer because you know which one we can get in Marco City from the F&M. It could be Michael Pintard, the
Right.
leader.
Yeah.
And then obviously that just leaves Mike out for the F&M to ratify. The PLP today on their heels, obviously water's running because then you got straight out of the OPM, Latre Raman, Director of Communications, taking to social media to practice trollery himself.
You said trollery?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is about Rick
Oh,
Fox,
boy.
but he got the PLP waters running. Maybe because they tried to recruit him and couldn't get the job done.
You think so?
Yeah, but sicking your trolls on demand with lies is ridiculous. Hit them with facts. Was on this show. Rick Fox identifies as a Bahamian. Rick Fox is a Bahamian. Rick Fox played one tournament for Canada when he was in Indiana in high school, getting ready to go to North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah, he claimed all the way along he was from where? The Bahamas.
Right.
So if you want to try and twist history, you can't. Because when he had the opportunity to play for Canada in the Olympics, he declined the offer for two reasons. One, his mom said, no, you're not a Canadian, you're a Bahamian.
He did explain that on this show.
And he felt, I've always represented and identified as a Bahamian. I'm not going to take the spot. But he poured himself into the program to say, okay, I may never play for this national team, but I'm going to help build it to a point where we do have quality
Right.
basketball being
when he would have
represented
been
by Bahamian
eligible,
athletes.
the numbers just weren't there,
Weren't
right?
there.
The numbers just weren't there. And it shows how much we've grown in terms of professional
But to
sports
say-
that we can now field a really good team these days. But
Correct.
that was not always the case.
That wasn't always the case. And it went from coaching, getting King Rice, a legendary point guard in North Carolina who played with him under Dean Smith, to come in, who's coaches at the collegiate level now, still to this day, to come in and coach the Bahamian national team. That was Rick's pipeline.
Right.
Every other international coach has come from that pipeline that Rick opened up to get better coaching. No disrespect to our local coaches, but do you want somebody who coaches at the NCAA level or coaches in the NBA as an assistant. You want the best coach possible.
For the national team. Mm-hmm.
He's poured himself into every Bahamian player. He knows who they are, where they're playing overseas. When he was with the NBA Network, when they wanted to do vignettes and force him to do vignettes on American players coming out, when Buddy Hield came out, Rick was adamant. Rick said, no, I'm doing one vignette only, and it's starting in West End Ground, Bahama.
With Buddy Hield.
With Buddy Hield. And then you look, VJ, out of Buddy came VJ. He supported John Crowd. He supported other players. So to sit there and say that he's
By the way, that
nothing,
area, the West End and Bimini, something is definitely in the water down there. We can talk about that.
Everybody who's done a camp since has been provided the opportunity because Rick has gone to bat for them and been so pro-Bahamian, pushing doors behind the scenes saying, look at this kid, give him a go. And he's mentored the next wave of Bahamian basketball players like Michael Thompson did him. And it's blossomed from Michael Thompson to Rick Fox. And then you look and you see, okay, then you had Loxley Cardew there for a cup of coffee. And then you start looking again. And here comes Buddy Hield, VJ Edgecombe,
DeAndre Ayton,
John Quell Jones.
Right.
A ton of other young.
Even Clay wears his Bahamian.
And a ton in abroad from France to Spain to Greece to China to Korea.
So you're saying his career has been impactful, like
very
it's made
impactful.
a difference for young Bahamians.
He was a living embodiment of, yes, it can be done. I come from Johnson Road. You can do it too.
And I tell you, sometimes with people, sometimes you need those examples to just show you that it can be done. And then once that enters the psyche, just you'll see how fast it continues to happen over and over again.
And I get the PLP stance with their smearing by their trolls because they are the dirtiest players in the game. They will slander you. They will smear you. You say something about them, they want banded law and make you an ankle detector wherever you live in the world and come with all kind of foolishness. But they sit here and send trolls to say on social media just lies about Mr. Fox. I don't mind if you attack him for his stance and his policy. That's politics. To say that he's not Bahamian when he is, to say that he's not an ambassador when you should be wondering why you don't have the information, Mr. Mitchell, that he resigned from 2024.
That became a really technical question last night, right?
But it is further proof why I call the man the city septuagenarian.
So this is interesting.
And his political shelf life has expired because there again, and for lack of a better word, to hear him squeal and yelp, like, sorry to say this, but like a sophomore little cheerleader on the sideline today in front of the House of Assembly, whose pom-poms got taken, was just, as a man, was just like, my God, the mandem is in peril.
What are you like?
I'm questioned by reporters to the fact that Mr. Fox made the statement last night that the contract as an ambassador had expired from 2024. And he has always embodied himself and looked at himself as an ambassador throughout his career.
Thing.
We got, as a matter of fact, Mr. Producer, hold on a second. I think I know.
So this is a technical thing. I was curious last night when I heard Rick Fox talk about the fact that there was a contract and that it expired and there was no renewal of this formal position of ambassador at large in 2024. So then all of the questions these past few months about stepping down, they were like moot questions, but never once did our Minister of Foreign Affairs say to us, well, guys, technically that expired. Was he aware? Like, did he know? Or did this all come as a surprise? I take his response this morning and that the whole, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's kind of like, I guess, like, it's kind of like an affirmation. That's how I perceived it, that what Mr. Fox said last night was accurate. And if that is the case, then what has all this brouhaha been about the last few months about he was technically no longer in that position? Now, the word ambassador and whether you represent yourself as an ambassador informally, the way we think VJ does, the way we think Buddy does, and John Quell, and every athlete that's out there on the world stage, Shawnee, all of our great athletes that make us look so good, they act as informal ambassadors, right? People look at them and they, form certain opinions about this country. And that will always be the case with Rick Fox. That will always be the case with VJ. That will always be the case with our very prominent athletes. But the whole question of resignation, if that was not even in the equation because he was no longer acting officially in that capacity, why didn't Mr. Mitchell just say that months ago? I mean, was he aware? because it comes off like he was not even aware that that is no longer the case. And that to me is crazy.
Whom the gods curse, first they set mad.
It's strange. But I agree with you that there were many candidates. What struck me,
Mr. Producer, you got it lined up?
what struck me was the varied background. So we are used to seeing a lot of lawyers be the ones that, these political parties put forth. But now we're seeing, as you said, doctors, many doctors on this F&M ticket.
And businessmen,
nurses,
entrepreneurs.
business people, and it is quite, it's different.
And I saw a couple of dentists too, all right? We can call you dentists because the doctors is getting mad when we call you doctors. So we can
Well,
call
they
you
are
dentists
technically
and
doctors,
doctors.
too.
I ain't getting in that Hatfield-McCoy war between you all because both of you all serve a purpose when they need it. But I'll be honest with you, good to see like a broad cross-section
that did
of
stand
Bahamians.
out to me. I think the COI could also claim that as well. Their candidates come from very
Right. And
backgrounds.
speaking of the COI, please, when it comes to that diatribe you had pertaining to Mr. Fox, wipe your mouth. You are spewing manure. I don't
That
know if it's
was
goat
weird.
manure, if it's chicken manure, if it's cow manure, but it is manure for sure.
That was weird, only because I saw him.
Absolute lies, fallacies. What you need to
Well-
do is run a retraction. I know it's not in you. And that's a further reason why I tell COI supporters, especially the blind, rabid ones with the foam around their mouth, that your message is being lost on your leader.
I think
Because it's all about whistles and cameras and lights and hype, but no substance, no follow through. And that was grandstanding on absolute bull. Anyway, I
I
almost
think
said
it's
it.
weird only because I witnessed Mr. Bain kind of welcome or try to woo Rick Fox over to their party with open arms. He did a whole live to answering questions that Rick had put out there. So of course this is
Nobody,
this
if you
is
got
politics.
a chance to sign with a franchise like
This
the
is
Celtics or the
politics.
Lakers in Bahamian politics, are you going to sign overseas with a team like the COI? Just ain't happening.
It's
That ain't even a
just-
G League franchise.
It's just a strange turnabout. But of course this is politics, so that is want to
Now,
happen.
if there's any question to it, Mr. Producer, you got it lined up? All right, this is what I'm referring to when I said Mr. Mitchell squealing like a cheerleader whose pom-poms got stolen in front of the House of Assembly when questioned about, hey, you said the man didn't resign. He's an ambassador.
he said
and he countered with
that he
let it expire in 2024. He never resigned. I'm not under
Mitchell
contract.
didn't say he didn't resign, but he didn't point out to us that no resignation was necessary.
He was
'cause-
calling for his resignation.
Well, no, he didn't exactly say that. I think the comments that he made were generalized. And then we saw some follow up in the Tribune that seemed to hint that he was speaking towards Mr. Fox, if you read between the
Well,
lines.
we know that when it comes to saying certain things directly, despite him beating up his gums, Mr. Mitchell lacks the fortitude,
But
the
the
testicular
response
fortitude and
today,
backbone to
it was
say that,
weird.
okay?
It was weird.
All right?
I
But
must say.
at the end of the day, it just proves how out of touch with politics he is. He thinks he's in touch with it. He's in love. I've always said this. He's in love with the politics of politics, the pomp, the circumstance, the dinners, the speaking engagements. But when you get down to the real nitty gritty, grimy portion of politics, where men and women got to stand up and fight and use logic and theory and facts and solutions and intelligentsia, we get this kind of reaction from Mr. Mitchell.
So quick little interview. Praise God.
Schoolgirl written all over it.
They're asking a legitimate question, like, what's with this timeline? And it just laughed. That's a lot.
Mr. Producer, look, even the woman them right now is shaking their head like, oh no, like he really sounded over girly on that one.
Well, no, I think that's why, because honestly, if you could dispute something that a newly minted politician said as inaccurate, if you could prove
I'm blowing
that
clear
they
out of the
were-
water.
that
I'm
they're
proving as a
lying.
novice out the gate.
Right, out the gate, you could prove that they're not telling the truth, they're not being, truthful with the Bahamian public. You would do that. So the fact that there was a non-response, just giggling, like, yeah, you got me on that.
Now I
That's
see
weird.
why the PLP
That
and its
is strange.
minions and its and political affiliates connected and intertwined via tentacles take the same stance they do. They don't want a Freedom of Information Act. They don't want a Procurement Act because it involves answering questions, being transparent and accountable. Why have a Freedom of Information Act when you could just lie? When you could just go and lie on people, just go lie. If that's how we playing, boy, let me tell you, MJ is a brilliant writer. I could put together some stories, man. Let's go. Forget Aesop's. How about Naughty's Book of Political Fables?
Oh boy.
I mean, come on. And then when you see BS and you hear BS and you call about BS, then they get upset because you call BS on their BS.
Well, hopefully we're going to move into the next phase, which is that with all of these newly minted, newly ratified candidates, as well as the other ones, the Progressive Liberal Party has completed their ratification. I think the COI, if it's not complete, they're very close. And like you said, the Free National Movement only has about 2 more persons to ratify. Hopefully we move away from whatever stage this is, and now we get into asking like the real questions and get real policy solutions from these candidates so that we can make a decision based on reality and not fables.
Couple other. You like that, Aesop?
Yeah.
All right. CPSA head says PMH is the worst she's ever seen it.
Talked about that yesterday.
First-time voters say they are concerned about education and healthcare. And Smith walks back Grand Lucayan comments. But guess what? Our special guest today, Mr. Omar Isaacs, F&M ratified candidate for West End. We'll be having a conversation. We'll get caught up with him on the flip side of the break, so we'll find out exactly what's going on. The last time I heard anything from constituents in West End, and I quote, "We feel swing and manipulated and swing. And the park still ain't done." But hey, we'll talk about that coming up. Let's get these 2 calls out of the way, and then we'll hit the break. Talking Heads.
Good day.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good day. I have actually Mr. Rick Fox actually in the front of me right now. I'm sitting in the vehicle, and he's actually on the ground shaking everybody on.
Oh, really?
Is good.
Okay.
Yes. He's on East Street in the front of Little General Food Store.
So ask Ricky real quick for me, since he in Garden Hills now. If Friday at 4 is going to be good for him or
you
not.
Call him on his side, but he's shaking hands. You say he's shaking hands now, and
he's shaking.
he's on the ground.
Around him.
Interesting.
Well,
so what's the response on the ground?
Oh, they welcome him. They love him, man. You know, he's a Bahamian, and he has the rights to run the way he wants to run.
That is true. That's
we tired of the same old CMF and PLP, so you need new faces. But anyway, sir, I want to say this. Today, about 2 hours ago, I was on Marquis Street, and here comes two motorcycle police officers, one in khaki, one in a regular uniform, and they blowing and I couldn't get on the side of the road, so this one in the khaki, he pulled up on the side of me, move this effing car, move this. So I say, sir, how I can move? And you see, right? So any which way, these fellas them rather run and carry, like they had a fleet of cars, they just probably get off the dock or whatever. They'd rather go do that rather than go and dealing with these.
But weren't they supposed to do that at a different time and a different time slot and different hours for that?
And he rushing, speeding, moving every car out the way just to move. Cars them are just coming off the dock. They'd rather do that than go into accident scene. These bunch of hypocrites on the police force need to stop.
Oh, goodness.
Good points, man.
They need to stop. How in the world you want to just run, you whine about, but your little tip and not dealing with people and what have accident on the side of the road? It's bad in this country. We need to get this country fixed. Let these officers know that is not their job.
Yeah, no.
And if it's an extra job, it should be done after hours, not to the inconvenience of the public.
That's what's going to happen.
Good points. I can let you get back to making sure Rick get around in Garden Hills, man.
Thanks, caller.
Talking Heads.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Listen, I voted F&M all my life 7 times. Voted F&M, and it had me puzzled now. This election had me puzzled because, our MPs and our candidates are jumping from pillar to post. I mean, what's going on?
Man, listen, I feel the same way. I voted PLP 7 times too, and I can be honest with you, I wondering what's going on with that PLP ticket as well. Yeah, I mean, I can't get over, the same old be regurgitated, showing up, and then the new set who come. I with you. As a PLP, who voted several times for I feel the same way as you.
The lines are lit. Let's go to another caller.
Let's go to the phone.
Talking Heads. All right, we got to take a break here. Thank you so much, callers.
Just hang tight. We'll get to you right after the break. Amy will get to our special
very
guest.
special guest today.
The F&M ratified candidate for West End, Mr. Omar Isaacs. That's all coming up on the flip side of the break as the Wednesday, February 4th edition of Talking Heads continues right after this.
You was being had, don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave, put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth, hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh, put my kicks up on they desk, unaffected by they threats. Then get busy on they see, that's how that shit down made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among us with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Crunch boring lunches and enjoy real food at a real good price with KFC's value deals. For $5.95, you can get a famous bowl and drink or a one-piece chicken box. For max value, grab a value box. That's a piece of our iconic chicken, nuggets, cheesy mashed potato, a buttery biscuit, fries, a dessert biscuit, and soda, all for just $9.95. KFC value deals have got the crunch that you're looking for. KFC knows value, and it's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for The Buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. Show goes on all right. Already the show goes on all night till the morning we dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up. Show goes on. 1, 2 in the air for the father that's there. 3 in the air for the kids in the ghetto. 4 for the kids that don't want to be there. None for the trying to hold him back.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 4th edition of Talking Heads. All right, here's how it's going to go. We're going to deal with this one call. Then we'll get to our guest, Mr. Isaacs. And then I will let you know, on MJ, I'll let you know when we open the phones back up. Feel free to call back in, chime in, and we'll talk about whatever you want. Let me get the text lines out of the way, but let's get this first call in and done. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, what's going on with your wife in Philly? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Philly? No Super Bowl for them Eagles this year.
Hey, I hope you're ready for this blue wave because it's coming your way. You ready for the blue wave?
I know, but no wave. I hear maybe a slight puddle. Water settling. I hear water settling. I hear no wave. But listen, before we get into the political talk, Western Union, 2 cheesesteaks. One from Geno's.
Western Union.
Yeah, one from Geno's.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's get both from Geno's.
Okay.
You in Philly, right? I need 2 Philly cheesesteaks from Geno's.
I'm Philly.
One for me and one for MJ, man.
FedEx, not even UPS.
UPS, FedEx, whatever, man. Just get it there quick. All right? We need a good Philly cheesesteak. Nah, talk to me. You say a blue wave coming. Tell me why.
Man, a blue wave coming, man. We got this. A blue wave coming. PLP all the way from Philadelphia.
You say a complete rerun? I mean, that's the same cast of characters I've seen. It's pretty much a rerun. And you think that rerun that has caused so much to the misery index in this country and the sufferation and Bahamians complaining on a day-to-day basis, you think they're good enough for 2 straight? That same old squad?
Listen. PLP all the way. Call it what you made.
Well, make sure bring them cheesesteak when you come in to vote, because you come in to vote, right?
No, you ain't coming in to vote. No.
you got
you ain't coming in. Yeah,
I won't, but them cheesesteak.
We know you can't vote, so we won't be seeing you.
All right, Philly, good to hear from you, man. Be safe, all right? Let's get to the other. That's it? Or we got one more, and then we got... All right, let's get this one in and then Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
Listen to me, buddy. I was very disappointed in Lincoln talking about Rick Fox today.
Man,
I
see,
saw he lost a lot of votes because of his rhetoric and what he's running on with today, bro.
when I called it out months ago, you always like, but you just mad him because he lied on you. But now he's lying on me and everybody else, right?
I was on the other side, Naughty. I apologize to you, Naughty. I apologize. He look like he is a clone or something trying to help somebody else out. If I could say that.
You're a puppet on a string, man, and I think them strings is yellow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm devastated because of that, man. He really proved his intentions today.
Boy.
There you go, man. It's some WWE type stuff, but I see, and I'm glad that people, it resonated to people. People are calling in and saying how they feel. Because that's how it looks. It's totally unnecessary to go the route you go, and you got
particularly
nominated.
since you were very, out there trying to recruit him just weeks ago. So it's a very strange turn of events, that's for sure.
All right, let me get these texts out of the way, and then to our guest we go. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ.
Hi.
If they are so hard on Rick vying as a candidate, why they didn't ask Fred Mitchell why he gave him ambassador to begin with? Do the Bahamas give ambassadorships to foreigners? Please, I'd like to know. Well, it seems like Mr. Mitchell don't know what's going on in that department, so in that ministry. Naughty and MJ, what do you think Fred Mitchell will say when Nicholas Fox give him a whooping? 100% beef hot dog a juice.
Next texter.
That's what he can say.
Next texter.
He got that hot dog put on him. That's what happened.
Next texter.
Okay, listen, I appreciate the text, but Mitch, you got to learn not to text in capitals all the time,
letters.
man.
Oh, boy.
Good evening, Naughty and MJ. I finally realized even Kingsley Smith and the nurses don't believe anything the PM and his party have to say, especially his deputy. Also, ducking shaky Dr. Darver. Yes, sir. The shake a lot is definitely shaking.
Mrs. Smith's comments were strange. We'll get to that in a moment.
Here we go. Good afternoon, MJ and Naughty. This is important regarding the youth. On Monday, a gentleman from Carmichael constituency formerly called Naughty Show and said that parliamentary registration reps were forcing their first-time voter's son to give biometrics in order to be eligible to be placed on a voting register. Is this lawful or a denial of their son's constitutional right? These mixed messages are confusing and dissuade the young people. Correct, and I think a lot of voter suppression is pushed
if you
out
were
by
to
that.
ask me, I thought that it was not mandatory this time around. I did not realize that they were telling persons that it was mandatory. So there definitely needs to be more clarification from the Parliamentary Registration Department on exactly what the protocol is this time around in terms of the biometrics.
Correct. And additionally, yes, Naughty, your caller was right. I also saw the fleet of cars being led by the police outriders who were parting the road like the Red Sea. I counted
crazy.
16 as a flotilla
16.
at 1:30 p.m. today on Mackey Street.
Now, why would you do that? So after this became a hot topic a couple of months ago, I did witness them carrying a fleet of cars, but that was about, 8 o'clock in the evening that we saw them parked on the side there by Shell waiting to go down as a, what they call it, a flotilla?
Flotilla.
Right.
Caravan.
Caravan. So then I thought, okay, great. They received the message from the public. They're not going to interrupt.
They must have just running late. The ship got in late.
It had to be because to hear that they did it again today, 1 o'clock in the day, just to move those vehicles. I mean, really? That needs to be looked at again and needs to be corrected because it's very disruptive to the productivity of workers on the road trying to get from point A to point B. And you can't do it later. Those cars, if you don't run them through traffic at 1 o'clock in the day, they're not going anywhere. Take them in the night like you did the time responsibly as you can with as least amount of traffic on the road as you can because Bahamians do not appreciate it. Why can't they just get that through their heads? We don't appreciate it.
Good day, Naughty and MJ. The PLP trolls are all over Rick with misinfo, especially that dirty mud gal from Freeport. Now listen, hold on.
Oh, boy.
Her hubby happens to be good people, and he does a hard job working for water and sewage, all right? I mean, he tried to help us get facilitated. Wasn't his fault. We still got raw sewage running through 3 neighborhoods because water and sewage applied 3 pumps that don't work.
But why the visceral? Anyway, we'll get into all of that.
And text, I'm hollering 7 times, but it could have been 8 texts. It might have been 6. I don't know, but I am a PLP.
So crazy. All right, let's get to our very special guest with us. He is no stranger to the show. He has been on before, and we're happy to have him back, this time in person. Let's welcome to Talking Heads in studio, Mr. Omar Isaacs, who is the Free National Movement's ratified candidate for the West End Used to be West End and Bimini, but now it's just West End constituency. Mr. Isaacs, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. And it's West Grand Bahama.
West Grand Bahama. Well, you know.
Oh, yeah, the change after the
so-
Freddy Krueger slicing of the boundaries.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's a technical name, but if you grow up in Grambling, it's just like, well, we go in West End. We don't go into
It's the capital. It's the capital.
It is the capital. It is the capital.
Bahama.
Very technical thing,
Yeah,
but still true, you know.
But we in West Grand Bahama will never ever neglect the fact that 8 Mile Rock
That is right.
is
It's
the
included.
biggest settlement in the Bahamas. The biggest concentration of people. And MJ, if
That's
you
amazing.
heard any of my interviews prior, because I've been an entrepreneur down there for 20 years.
Okay.
It's half my life. You see what I said? And I have always made mention of the business district of West Grand Bahama, which extends from, guess what? Hepburn Town in the east to the village of West End in the west.
Wow.
I do not believe it's any coincidence. This God moving, you know. God has placed and overlaid the business district with the constituency now.
Gotcha.
So I am pleased. I know that most of the business network up there is pleased, as well as the constituents. They know now that West Grand Bahama proper is going to get proper representation.
Well, but for the Biminites listening right now, how do you feel about Bimini no longer being a part of that constituency?
Oh, I was hurt.
Yeah?
I was hurted, like the old people say.
Yeah, you felt bad about it?
My family from there. I'm a
Okay.
Lavardi.
Oh, okay.
And we have a Lavardi town. Big up, Paulie. You meet him on the airport. But no, man, Bimini really is sweet.
Yeah.
And I was there, patting the pavement with the team there.
Mhm.
And I can say this beyond a shadow of a doubt, Carlton has inherited Duda, Cece, Lorick, Kiosha.
Right.
Big up yourself.
How did they feel about being their own? Well, they're now paired with the Berry Islands.
Yes.
How do most of them feel about that? The ones that you've spoken to on the ground in Bimini.
No, man, they are all. I was with them last night.
We used
were
to
with
say
them.
that a lot growing up in Bimini. We used to say Bimini and the Berry Islands. Like,
B&B.
That's what we used to say a lot.
B&B. B&B right now, they are elated at the fact that, they've had this groaning for so long.
Right.
And right now, they're going to have proper representation themselves. Everything that is done on that island and in that region and vicinity is going to be represented by one Carlton Bowleg, the next an incoming member of Parliament for B&B.
And he was one of the persons that was ratified last night, correct? Because he was previously for North Andros.
and Berries, which no longer exists.
Right. So what did you think about your party's ratification ceremony last night, the exercise last night? What are your thoughts on what happened last night?
It was electric. And let me tell everybody that's under the sound of my voice, you see that slogan, "We work for you," that ain't really a slogan. That is a way of life, and the leadership of the Free National Movement has really this slate of candidates, including myself, that has been rolled out. When we go on these doorstep interviews, I call them, and Rick right now, he in Garden Hills on doorstep interview.
I mean, on day one.
On day one, and I respect that, but people are asking us for their resumes, for our resumes.
Right.
And they want to know, hey, are you qualified to do this job? Not just because you're being around the party knocking about and now we can give you a blight. No, they want to know that you are qualified to do this job that you said that you can do.
Speaking of resumes, I know we did this before, but let's have your resume, Mr. Isaacs. So exactly is Omar Isaacs. Give us a little bit about your background and then tell us why you decided to enter the frontline politics.
Yes. So who am I? And that's a loaded question.
I know.
But I am the son of Derek and Anastasia Isaacs, great-grandson of Warren J. Lavardi and Ghana J. Lavardi.
What?
Warren is my granduncle.
Okay.
Buildings named after your people, man.
Yes, you have the Justice
You come
Center.
from good stock, like the old people say. You come from good
appreciate
stock,
that.
young fella.
Appreciate it. Well, it's in the blood. It's in the blood.
Okay.
No, but I schooled at the University of Iowa, where I majored in political science.
You went to Iowa?
Hold
on a second. Just tell us, as a Bahamian, how did you survive the Iowa winters?
It was a culture shock, to be open and honest. But it was many days where we had them snow days where I wake up, saw that
It's home, right?
What?
I could imagine.
How about driving in? Here's me and MJ driving into Iowa for the first time to do a comedy gig. Corn.
You know
it. Waffle House, corn. 7-Eleven, corn. Comedy Club, corn.
It's a culture shock.
It was. And I had graduated from Northwestern Senior High School in Miami.
Okay.
So to go from the inner city.
You went to Northwestern?
Yeah, the Bulls. Yeah. Don't start.
You all got a pretty good football program.
I'm basketball king.
Yeah, but I don't
track
know.
and field.
Man, you all still ain't ready for Carol City. You all ain't still ready for...
he just stopped me, everybody.
For New Orleans, you all ain't ready for a couple of them.
Any which yeah.
Calling all your schools.
Yeah.
You see, I watch Florida football because why? The U, which made a triumphant return this year, and we will be winning again. National championship in 2026.
Definitely.
My mouth to God's ear.
Definitely.
So you went to school?
I went to school in U of I, and then I actually, when I graduated, I was just like many of our young people nowadays debating whether or not to come home.
Okay.
I was on the interstate, never forget it. It was a Sunday. Got this call from none other than Obadiah Hercules Wills Comby.
Wow.
One of the greatest of all time. God bless the dad. Sweet soul.
And I could tell you another
Good
story.
peoples.
But he told me that some of my family members and wanted to know if I wanted an interview at the Ministry of Tourism. And I say, sir, I would be elated.
Right.
And so said, so done. I always had an entrepreneurial spirit within me, though. And I knew coming out of college, because of my track background and my dad, he was very active in creating a gym. Years before, in 8 Mile Rock, Francis and Jean had wiped out that gym.
Oh.
So when I came back home, as opposed to coming back home with debt, I came back home with over $25,000+ because I saved up all my scholarship checks, worked at Foot Locker, X, Y, and Z.
But yeah, I know you got a sick sneaker collection.
Man, I'm a sneakerhead.
I'm a sneakerhead, too. We can talk off here.
Yeah.
But I can see now, for sure.
But
Your forces must be strong.
You came home, you said, you want to do this.
And I wanted to, open a business.
Okay.
So I started that, but the Ministry of Tourism came calling. I got an interview, and the rest is really history. Obadiah is really a former mentor of mine, and I did a year and a half at the Ministry of Tourism before I was offered the position at the Bahamas Tourist Office in London while my family held down the business.
Okay.
So I went from a spring break. I was on spring break one summer. The next summer, I was head of spring break for the Grand Bahama Island.
Uh-huh.
I grew it from 500 kids to 5,000 kids the next year. And that to say, hey, this young man is productive. Let's send him London. I went to London.
Representing the country.
Representing the country and at the Bahamas Tourist Office at the High Commission there under Paul Farquharson.
Okay.
And I can tell you that really opened my eyes to the world because I was focused on e-commerce at the Bahamas Tourist Office. And I can say this, because let me style for a little minute, that I was the first manager to ever win an award for the digital representation of our country. So our e-commerce...
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Good
Travolution
stuff.
Award.
Good stuff.
Travolution Award. We won that in 2009 under my leadership. And I'm very proud of that. Again, that was something that put me on the map on that side of the pond. They said, hey, listen, let's send this play to the Bahamas Tourist Office in Florida. Ran the Bahamas Tourist Office in Florida, youngest general manager for sales and marketing for the entire U.S. It was a feat. I learned a whole lot. I did what I needed to do there. And eventually they asked me to come home and work in the office of the Prime Minister under the Minister administration.
Okay.
That, in a nutshell, is what. But, like I said, the entire time I juggled having one foot in the public sector with also having one foot in the private sector.
With your business.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, now when we go
8
over...
Mile Rock.
To break time. So
Yes.
I'm gonna take a couple of texts. We're gonna open up the lines a little bit. But when we go over into the break, I definitely want to talk about, there's an alarming statistic that MJ brought up on the show. 84% of our tourist arrivals are actually cruise
ships.
ship
Correct.
passengers.
Correct.
We need to talk about revitalizing heads in beds and that kind of product.
Stop
And
over.
from your experience being abroad and having to sell the product,
Yes.
what are some of the pitfalls and hurdles that we need to eliminate moving forward to revitalize said tourism product that we've gone all in on?
I look forward to this conversation.
And that's just one. I don't want to slip off the grid. I'm sure MJ's got several for you, but let's go to these texts right now. And we could check them out. Mr. Producer, if you want to open up the lines for the next couple of minutes, you can, and we'll get some questions in. But obviously, it's a busy show today. There's still a lot of fever in the air too. A lot of people still buzzing over last night.
Plenty.
Good afternoon, Naughty, and my favorite host, MJ. I said, long time Lincoln Bain is working with Brave. He's always attacking Pintard and never the PLP, which office he claims he wants. Please give Pearlie my regards. I'm working my butt off in Central and South Eleuthera. Big walkabout in Governor's Harbor on Saturday with boots on the ground. Shout out to you.
Eleuthera's fired up?
Yeah, Eleuthera is fired up. This text says, good afternoon, MJ, Naughty and MJ. I also saw that overzealous robotic inspector escorting those fleet of cars as if it was an emergency. This level of contempt for the paying public motorists for cars that have not paid a dime yet is sickening. Cursing that guy was not called for. I was going to cuss him right. Ooh. You almost walked me into that, Texter, but I get your sentiment. Yeah, I agree that you shouldn't be. Well, I'm very surprised that the officer cursed at the motorist. That's uncalled for. But moving those cars through the streets during busy time is also very uncalled for.
Let me go sit on the fence here on this one. I do think that they need a police escort from point A to point B when you're dealing with a caravan of 16 to 20 vehicles. However, I think it should be done at specific times with correct information put out that, on certain days between 4 and 6 or 6 and 8, this is going to happen. It can't be in the middle of rush hour traffic.
They could move those cars later.
You can't move them. You move them later. Move them early in the morning like they do in the States. You're getting paid for it.
Get up early.
If you're making extra money, I'm looking at it there. I wake up earlier than that.
Or 5:30, yeah.
4 a.m. and by 6 a.m. everybody clear and done, and you paid.
Exactly. It's crazy the way that they're interrupting
Planning leaves
traffic.
a lot to be desired in this country when it comes to planning these kind of things. People should have a right to have their business. Okay, I get it. If I own a car lot, I got 20 cars coming in, I need to get them on the lot. But I need to do it in a way where it's quick and efficient, and I got my drivers, and it's one do it 4 in the morning.
But
and
imagine if everybody
6.
moved their cargo like that. I mean, let's be sensible about this. Those cars can be moved in the evenings when
Correct,
there's less
that's what I'm
traffic
saying.
on the road and without cussing people out, that's for sure. This texter says, Rick Fox sending chills in Garden Hills. I like that rhyme. Highlighting all the country's ills. We got some
That
real
sounds like the resident poet
poets
laureate
out
at
there.
52. That's what that sounds like.
Texter says, Naughty what Lincoln said about Rick Fox. I just tuned in. This texter says, PLP Yamacraw MP Zane Light Burns, one silly and biased man in the House of Assembly right now, is making no sense in his contribution. Can't wait to vote these PLPs out so they can be gone. Can I talk a little bit about this morning? Because I got to see this morning's session, and even the Prime Minister seemed to be off his game.
They all seemed a little bit delulu with no salulu.
Hurling an insult that was definitely unparliamentary.
Let's pick that up right out of the break.
Yes.
And then we got some more questions for Mr. Isaacs, but
And
let's
more-
get these
more
calls
text.
out of the way. Talking heads.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to tell you something now. I hope Mr. Fox has prepared himself for every digging that's going to come from every oracle as it relates to from the
For
U.S.,
sure.
his marriage, all these other things. I hope he sat down and thought about all of this because Bahamians are going to go deep, and they're going to go, literally, it's going to be ugly. So
Yeah.
I hope himself for that because it's not going to be something that Bahamians are different from the United States. I can promise you that.
Well, no, they
And
dig in the States.
They're going
They
to
dig.
nasty. And that's all I want to say. I'm not saying if I'm pro or I'm con.
Got you. No, we
All
got
I'm saying,
you.
I just hope that he's prepared
But
himself.
Caller,
for that.
Caller, shouldn't all politicians be scared of that, considering what we have seen over the last 4 years? Come on, let's be honest.
Let me tell you something, Naughty. Let me tell you something. Bahamians, I understand why what's going on and why people are saying what they're saying. But let me tell you something. For a newcomer, and he may be of Bahamian origins and so forth, but a lot of people are not really, feeling it quite yet. But I hope that he is actually preparing himself and has prepared his mind, because the stuff that's going to come out is, and it ain't taking much to find out some things online. I'm hoping, like I said, I hope that he's prepared for it. I hope that the FM and anybody else has prepared themselves for it.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Our people don't care about what hardly is being said here locally. They ain't worried about that. But when you come now, and you come with a mindset to say, okay, I'm going to take this on, and you are a public, very, very public, that's a different ball game, brother. Ain't nobody in this.
Oh, I think we lost him.
But hold on a second.
Very interesting that he mentioned wife. We know that Rick was married at one point to the former Miss America, Vanessa Williams. We know a lot about. We know more about his history than we do about a lot of the local politicians.
But hold on,
about their wives.
If him running for
and
politics
sweethearts
is going to cause
mistresses.
potential.
I'm just saying.
Brand
and kids. I'm just saying.
What's that?
I'm saying he talked about his wife and about, he'll be talking about that, like we'll be bringing up all this information. And I've said that we don't even get that deep into some of these politicians that we have here right under our noses with their wives.
And outside progenies.
We usually consider that kind of
arms and
off limits to a point, right? Like
and judge court hearings against them, then they need to pay exorbitant amounts of money.
Yeah, I said we don't usually go hard after wives, right?
Right.
Nor sweetheart and mistresses and outside children. I mean, come on.
We need to go after that too.
Well, no, I'm saying though, you're kind of balancing being able to look at the candidate in the totality and still be respectful. But I think if things go dirty, they go dirty multiple ways.
Everybody should be worried about if they go dirty.
I don't want to see that.
Everybody.
But I'm just saying.
Because everybody right now, if I look around in cabinet right now.
The Naughty's Fables, the stories.
I tell you. And listen to that caller. I understand your point of brand damage by the negative publicity he gets here. What about the international brand damage that has been brought to our doorstep by this administration over the last 4 years? SPX, Bankman-Fried. You look across we've had.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
The court here in New York that we're waiting to find out who the politician is involved. How much more brand damage is that?
Politics is politics, but when we tear each other down unjustified, it really hurts all of us and not just the person.
And yeah, to the idiotic PRB troll who say Rick Fox daddy ain't your daddy, but your daddy don't know. But I guess all his siblings that ain't the same daddy because they all look alike. So where you going? You should listen down. Because I hear you only tagged 6 and 2 more running around scot-free. That's
You're
what you need
listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We'll be back with our special guest, Mr. Omar Isaacs. Yes, he's going to answer some more questions. We really want to figure out what we can do better in tourism, and I'm hoping he's got some solutions in mind. We're going to take a quick break for the news. We'll be right back.
One in the air for the people ain't here. 2 in the air for the father that's there. 3 in the air for the kids in the ghetto. 4 for the kids that don't wanna be there. None for the trying to hold him back. 5 in the air for the teacher not scared to tell those kids that's living in the ghetto that the holding back that the world is theirs. Yeah, the world is yours. I was once that little boy, terrified of the world. Now I'm on a world tour. I will give up everything.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Flame Grill tastes better. At the Burger King Nassau, you'll see our legendary Whopper with cheese is made with 100% Flame Grill beef for that juicy and smoky buff, topped with fresh ingredients and nestled in an even fluffier bun. And right now, enjoy BK's Whopper with cheese combo with fries and a drink for just $9, including that. The King gives more food and more flavor for an unbeatable price. Taste the Flame Grill difference at any of Burger King's 7 locations in Nassau.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just remember when you come up.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 4th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty and MJ in your company right up until 6 p.m. We're going to continue the conversation with our special guest, F&M ratified candidate for West End.
West Grand Bahama.
West Grand Bahama. Let me get it right. West Grand Bahama.
Rock, Holmes Rock.
Right, because the new boundary cuts is now West Grand Bahama.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to continue the conversation with him. But before we do that, let's get to the phone lines. Let's get these texts out of the way. Talking Heads. Talking Heads.
Hey, Naughty MJ, what's going on?
Hi,
Hey, what's happening?
Omar, what's going on, homeboy?
Hey, sound familiar, man? Right here, living and maintaining.
Hey, listen, I'm so impressed with the slate of candidates that Mr. Pendad has put forward so far. People like Jay Philippe, Miss Oliver for North Andres. As a matter of fact, Janice Oliver, she used to live in Grand Bahama. As a matter of fact, she was a nurse in East Grand Bahama.
Okay.
She actually stays right behind the clinic.
Young professionals that Mr. Pendad has put forward, I think the country is well on its way. And I think this is the crew that needs to be given a chance. I think the Bahamian people really need to look at this slate of candidates and really make a conscious decision on how we want to move forward as a country with the CMOs already young, energetic, fresh professionals. Omar, I want to encourage you.
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing in Restaurant Mama.
Thank you.
I see you in that white beat-up truck, and you be on the road and you beating it.
That's
so
workhorse.
I just want you to be encouraged, keep knocking on these doors, and I'm sure with God's grace and the grace of the people and from Lovers Beach to West End, there's no doubt that you will be the next MP for West End.
Man, thank you so much. Thank you so much, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Good stuff. Let's get to the other call. Talking Heads.
And MJ.
Hi, good afternoon.
And your guest.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just quickly look at Rick Fox. I'm looking at him closely here now, and I see if he's able to energize, the young people, because young people are the ones who they don't like to come out to vote.
Right.
So he has some work to do.
Yeah, that's
true. But in the Bahamian political arena, people demand, they ain't looking for no trophies. They want daily bread, and they want a seat like he's doing now. I'm told presence in the village square, and he's there now.
Yeah.
So his challenge, in my opinion, is to transform this fame. Otherwise, he's risking being remembered as just a visiting hero who never truly moved the needle. But I wish him good luck because we need to get rid of what we got.
I agree. I second that notion.
But to
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
to say he didn't move the needle. He won 3 championships with the Lakers, and he was married to Vanessa Williams. That's moving the needle, brother.
And during those championships, the one memory I have of him was being draped in the flag in the middle of the court.
Correct.
And he was there
And he was
dancing
plenty
the John
Bahamian
Canoe.
then.
Oh, yeah.
He was resonating then.
Oh, yeah.
He has
Okay?
represented the country a lot. But Naughty, you had a question about tourism and the numbers, and I
Correct.
think we have the perfect guest
Based
to help
off-
us understand some of this
Based
with
off
your
your-
experience in those ministries.
Based off your past placements in those ministries, in those foreign offices, and obviously in sales and marketing, having to sell the product, our major product is tourism, that we keep going back to the well with, you know what I mean? And obviously we need to maintain it. We need to revitalize it. It might even need a makeover. But what is very alarming to Bahamians, especially in the tourism sector, is something that MJ brought up a couple of months ago on the show. The fact that 84% of our tourist arrivals belong to the cruise ship. We get no portion part of it.
That is true.
Except the taxes over the heads, but we're
not.
It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight,
Okay.
Naughty. And here we are in 2026. Albert Einstein said it best, whereby you can't fix a problem on the same level that it was caused. I say that to say this. No slight against anybody, but you have technocrats who have been in the positions for far too long. And when we look at our airlift development strategy, I would dare say that there's none. Because
My
they're
God.
doing the same thing that they have done 10, 15 years ago. There's a conference called Routes. It happens in the U.S., it happens in Europe, it happens in South America. I was fortunate enough to go to 2 of them, the one in South America and the one in Europe. And this is where you sit with the persons called network planners from each of the airlines that fly into the Bahamas.
Okay.
And they give you the rundown and tell you up front, hey, Bahamas, as a destination, you suck in this area.
Okay.
Here's what you need to do. Why is it that our technocrats are not listening? They have yet to listen to a network planner from an American Airlines or from a Europa and say, okay, planes go in two directions. They go into your destination as well as come out of the destination. When they come out, they're coming out with 15%. They're coming out with 20% load factors. They may go in heavy, but they're coming out. So that I look at inside the United States like a Minneapolis.
Okay.
That is teeming with potential, not just for inbound traffic, but we Bahamians like shop.
Okay.
They have a Mall of America that is 4 stories tall.
Yeah, we went there when we went to
Okay,
the Super Bowl. Yeah.
And people recognize that Bahamian dollar and that Bahamian spend. Why not let's get involved with Minnesota, with Minneapolis, to see that Bahamians not just stop in Florida.
Well, not right now with Minneapolis and Minnesota. Not right this moment.
Not right now.
I get your point.
Yeah, but if we start to exchange commerce into these new markets and bring down the barrier of persons coming in, man, we would see a totally different skew when you're looking at the tourism dollar and the tourism spend, because it's a very big difference from a cruise passenger who's spending $100.
We have the lowest spend in the region,
man, versus a stopover visitor who spends $2,000 on an average stay. It's night and day.
Do you think we could reclaim some of that stopover market and some of that heads and beds market? Or do you think we've lost it forever?
No, man. A short haul will always be from the U.S. and Canadian markets. We are seeing an uptick from the Canadian market, but that's just
because they upset with Trump.
Correct.
Then they kiss and make up. That's a different vibe.
Right now.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's just a byproduct of geopolitics. But for right now, there's much more that can be had. But our technocrats just need to step up their game.
What would you say to them if you could say, okay, maybe guys, look at this, and this is something we can do immediately to turn the numbers around a little bit better in our favor?
I would say let's go direct to consumer, but the mix of getting travel agents involved, but we need to get our hoteliers, because at one point in time, and this was during my tenure as well, at one point in time, we used to get rack rates directly from the hotel and go and carry them into the market.
Okay.
And the Bahamas Tourist Office has, for whatever reason, and the Ministry of Tourism, they have fallen to the wayside in terms of taking on the sales aspect of our country, because nobody could sell the Bahamas like a Bahamian.
No, that's for sure.
You hear what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
But they've handed over responsibilities to the PR and marketing firms of the world. And I find it, I'm baffled at the fact that we own our own airline, we own our own hotel, and the Minister of Tourism had millions of dollars in marketing funds, and he himself could not keep 15-20% occupancy inside the Grand Lucayan.
Casino junkets, if things are low now, go back to those junket flights where people fly in early and fly out in the wee hours of the morning, but you're getting what basically would be a day or two of stopover, spending, because they're gonna gamble, they're gonna buy, souvenirs, and they're gonna eat before they depart.
Man, you're looking at that in New Providence. That is a good solution for New Providence. But what about Grand Bahama? Grand Bahama don't even have our old casino.
Now my question is,
sorry, let's talk about Grand Bahama a little bit. First, particularly, we'll talk about, what do you think of that's happening with this Grand Lucayan deal, but I want to talk first about the employees. So there's more reporting in the news that you have some employees, I guess they're employees, they've been furloughed, some of them still
Correct.
5 weeks behind
Correct.
in receiving their paycheck. What are you understanding is happening in Grand Bahama in terms of the employees of the Grand Lucayan?
It's a lot of misinformation, but many of those employees are constituents of mine. I've heard directly from them that things are tough.
Right.
MJ, things are tough. They're sitting at home, don't know how they're going to pay the rent, don't know how they're going to pay the mortgage. And that's the travesty. Right now at Grand Lucayan, I don't know if the water's back on, but even the security guards there have reached out to me and tell me they have to go over to Port Lucayan to use the bathroom.
Oh.
This is, and they're on midnight shifts. And this is just a travesty as to what's going on. Speak about West Grand Bahama, the constituency of West Grand Bahama. Right now, our MP is out to lunch. From where I stand, he is equate to a contractor coming in my house and telling me, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. And you give him your money.
Right.
And the boy don't change one dial. He didn't change one dial. And he had the audacity during the run-up in the by-election that he said, if he does not, come
Execute.
through.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come through on these promises, then don't give him a next chance. Well, I'm here to tell him that chance gone, my brother.
Yeah, that is quite something.
West Grand Bahama is upset. West Grand Bahama has said to me, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, that is a popular saying. He kind of walked back comments. It seemed to walk back comments where he kind of alluded to perhaps the contract isn't done, the deal isn't done with the Grand Ukayan. I know then he corrected it with a statement that he put out and talked about conveyance. So do you know for a fact right now whether that hotel is sold? Because I'm not certain.
I would say it's a Freudian slip-up. But I'm not around the table. I can't say or even speculate.
Right.
I know that truth will always come to light. But from what we have seen out of this particular administration, if anything on the eve of an election, they would not miss the opportunity.
Fireworks, monkey flips.
I'm trying to tell you.
Midgets on stilts and on roller skates, sea lions and stars shooting. And
They had the demolition of one window, and they had a whole contingent and the cabinet down for that, and they had
celebration.
a 5-hour celebration.
Yeah.
Just for a demolition of one window. That was
on our dime.
That was eventually
Let me get some
repaired.
of these texts out of the way, or do you have another question?
I just wanted to ask about something else that's important to West Grand Bahama, which is the boating industry, the marina industry, all that
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Can you tell us what's been happening there? Because we have had guests on the show, some telling us that, things are really bad, and then others saying that, no, this resort was full over Christmas or what have you, and no, the boating fees, everything is fine, all of that. I know the government has said, the DPM, Mr. Chester Cooper, that they're going to reevaluate it. But can you tell us, based on what happened late last year? I understand the season starts around Thanksgiving.
Correct.
What was it like in terms of your boating community? Because that's important to West Grand Bahama.
To West Grand Bahama. So we are 50 nautical miles off the coast of Florida.
Right.
And a lot of persons have utilized us as a midway point into Baker's Bay. And we've seen the traffic in years past. This past year, at Marlin Cove, it was dead. When I say dead, I mean DEAD, dead.
Wow.
And you have persons that, even reached out to me, hey, we 40% down.
Oh, wow.
Year over year. And it was all due to policy that was put in place.
Right.
Policies, I don't know who's advising these guys, but they need to really get down at the grassroots level, touch bases with persons like myself. I'm more than willing to sit with this administration to let them know what's going on the ground, because there is a serious disconnect, especially in West Grand Bahama.
All right, we're going to open up the lines again now, so call us if you want to chime in. You can. Let me get to the text real quick. This one coming in from Sparky. Naughty and MJ, last Friday night, a non-lit east-west highway, I dropped into a pothole and not only burst a tire, but I even broke my steering control arm.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to hear that, Sparky.
Sparky.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
and it's not just Sparky. There's many Bahamians who have been victimized by the roads.
By the way, what's going on Shirley Street? Can we ask that? Why is it so dug up on like one side of the road? It's really bad right now. I hate driving on
instead
Shirley
of
Street.
patching the whole entire road and closing it down and saying, okay, we need to patch from here to here, these are going to be the times that we do it, they've got dudes in the road with a wheelbarrow throwing down the tar and pounding it down with a hand pounder.
Shirley Street is a mess right now. We need to fix that.
That's the same thing in West Grand Bahama.
Yeah, I would imagine, especially with the beach and the sea.
What's going on with the contract for the roads down there that was supposedly paused? Is that on? Is it paused? Is it paused? Is it on? Because this administration has a lot of misspeaking.
It's voodoo economics. Yeah, man. They were going this way, that way with the money. I understand that the monies went down to Long Island or Eleuthera, but we never saw any of it.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ, and to your guest. You don't know what crap Rick Fox have on the PLP. They were recruiting him. Obviously, Rick ain't never scared. Tell them creepy crawlers to find another place to target those ratified last night. Thank God Rick is mannish. Okay. Yeah, all right. Here's another one. Naughty, ask MJ for me, is Rick still married? Because I have 2 nieces as potential prospects.
I do not. He's not married right now.
And, of course, at least he was married to a woman.
No, he's. I know that he was married to the former Miss America, Vanessa, who I love. She's a very talented actress and singer, and they have wonderful kids. And so, yeah, we pretty much know his history. I mean, come on.
Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. If they're so hard on Rick Vaughn as a candidate, why didn't ask Fred Mitchell why he gave him ambassadorship in the first place? Your caller who was talking about Rick Fox is a PLP troll. There are multiple PLPs, MPs who are dirty right up to the collar on their neck. If Rick went on the PLP side, that would never know why they're hurt so much.
I think the ambassadorship is now a moot point. Mr. Fox explained to us last night that contract expired in 2024. I have no reason not to believe him. And based on the response from the Minister of Foreign Affairs this morning, it almost seems like another thing that they just didn't know, as if like they just didn't realize. They were in the press saying a lot of stuff about him, implying a resignation was needed, when apparently none was ever needed in the first place. Yeah. This is strange business.
I tell you,
to not know that.
I'm of the opinion that these guys, year after year, they thought that we're gonna have next year to say or do this. We're gonna have another year to say or do this. They was too busy traveling around the world on our dime, and then now they look up and they're scrambling because we're right on the eve of a general election that they're about to be swept out. I'm saying it here publicly.
As a candidate, and I've said this before, you know, the contract is, speaking of contracts and expiring, it's for 5 years. Yeah. You got to get the job done in 5 years. Correct. I know that there are certain projects that you may start that may not be completed, but it cannot be that the vast majority of the things that you promise, there's no movement until the 11th hour. As a candidate, do you understand and do you respect that Bahamians expect you to get these things done like immediately, like you're working every day with some urgency?
Yes, and let me say this much. A candidate does not win elections. The team does.
Okay.
You understand? And that you're only as strong as the team that you have on the ground, because on your primary responsibility to go in that House of Assembly to advocate
that
and
is your job.
That is the first job.
That is the job.
That is the job. You have to have a very strong team, and I can say that Omar Alexander Lavardi Isaacs, have a very strong team on the ground in West Grand Bahama. Team OI, big up yourself.
All right. Some of these Bahamians need to stop with their personal attacks. Mr. Rick Fox looks exactly like his dad and has a personality even more like him. I knew his dad and did business with him. They need to find God and stop these lies.
Yeah, the ones about parentage. I'm not even entertaining those because that's just a low, dirty blow. And we don't have to stoop there.
Naughty, the government must pay for the damages to our cars on the road. That keeps coming up. And a lot of people, you know.
So if they had to pay for tires, Treasury would definitely be gone, you know?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about your question.
Go ahead.
MJ,
Go ahead.
When you speak about executing on some of the promises, I'm looking
in a timely fashion.
In a timely fashion.
Yeah.
Because I do not see why you would be on someone's doorstep. They tell you, hey, we have X, Y, and Z problem. Each one of the MPs, they have 150,000 in constituents that they themselves can execute on. Nothing maybe on a major level, but on a minuscule scale to see quality of life heightened in their community. Those are the type of things that I want to be able to execute on. A park here or solar lighting from Deadman's Reef into Boodle Bay. Mm-hmm. You remember that dark stretch of road between right there by Pelican Lake?
I was telling him we were down there when my brother got married in West End, and we were down there, and I was saying, my God, it is so dark. Now, mind you, we did stop and pull over and look at the stars because the sky was so clear. It was so beautiful. But I will say you need lights.
Yeah, no, man.
You need lights.
I pray. I tell you no word of lie. I pray because we want to have tourism festivals in West End. proper.
But you need the infrastructure.
Correct. And passion. I have a passion for investments and development. I cannot ask for persons to look at us seriously or put West Grand Bahama in their consideration set in terms of FDI if our infrastructure is not there. So some of those small fixes, I want to say I will seek to do those things like bring lighting to the street at Pelican Lake, be able to have parks, be able to have places where our kids can go and bide their time responsibly.
Let me ask you this, because you brought up the $150,000 constituent MP, and I think I'm going to start asking this of all of the prospective MPs. Would you be committed to publishing quarterly reports on how you spend that money in the constituency?
Most definitely.
Because I think that's
needed.
Important.
It's needed. And I look at it like this, because I'm talking now with a bunch of young, like-minded candidates, and we're just like interns. You know how an intern is? They get into an organization and they just have these fresh eyes. And I tip my hat to the leadership of the Free National Movement for putting all of these like minds around the table. But yes, some of the younger candidates, they're open to it because they want people to understand, see, and know how the country money is being spent. We have to pass, even though we will.
Right.
We will seek to do so, Freedom of Information Act. But we got to be able to say to the people, hey, here's your banner, here's your skin, this is what we did with the money.
Right.
And I'm all for it.
You mentioned the young persons that are now a part of the party. What do you think about the way your leadership has gone about recruiting younger persons to be candidates this time around?
Oh, yeah. The process was three-pronged. I respect the process. I've never seen a primary go for a year, but boy, it sharpened you. It gets you prepared for what you are to become.
Right.
But there is a balance. I see the veterans as well as the young ones that came in. But only thing that most of us are asking for, because plenty of us are new time, it's our first time, including myself, just give them a chance.
Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Good
Everybody
evening.
okay?
How's everybody? How you doing?
I doing well. I'm listening. Now, regarding potholes and lights, I think we need brighter street lights than those cars with those high beams that blinding you on the road and you can't see where you're going.
Yes.
So we need that.
Yeah.
We have persons who have won their party's approval to be standard bearers in one party, and in other parties we have persons who were not so successful in getting their seat. I think of in this case Vic Fox. I'm speaking of Vic Fox because I'm living in Garden Hills.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking of also, not nationally, of Clint Watson, who was speaking on the other side, who was trying to get in.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to know, pretty so close to elections, whether debates and revelation of the manifestos and plans so that they can be discussed. We want to know what will be carried forward or what will be stopped, reviewed, and canceled. Those are the things that every one of us need to know to make
you're right.
decision.
All pertinent questions.
Very important. Yes, no, I agree with you. Thank you so much, caller. I agree. Like, we need to know, the vision for the future. I understand your manifesto should be ready shortly.
Yes, that's what the leadership is ready to roll out any day now.
And I suggest to our young people, get all the literature from every political party, whichever one works for you the best.
The manifesto,
Ride
the
hard for
blueprint,
that.
the vision, get all of that.
And get out there and rock the vote. If you've registered, get registered. You're registered, good. Be prepared and be ready to vote. If you've been registered but you haven't been voting, get your bungie off the sofa. You're registered, go vote. And if you haven't registered, get registered. And if you're young people, don't let any old person discourage you, but your vote don't matter. Your vote is one of the more important votes to be got because you are the future.
Correct.
Naughty and MJ, and to your guest, the only place planes go light and come heavy is Haiti. Let's go to the phone lines. Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
Yes, good day, man. How are y'all?
Good. How are you?
Excellent, man. Listen, I wish we would get where we get to the point where we can
hear constituent or persons who are vying for positions in these constituents to start to have public debate on issues.
Yeah.
From the prime minister straight down.
Yeah.
I feel it's like they're almost like afraid to put themselves out there. If I'm from Elizabeth, I don't know why we can't have a debate, an open televised debate, by individuals. Once all the questions are cleared and all of that, and bring it forth. It's like we're still back in the caveman days. It's like they are afraid, and I'm talking about from all parties. It's like they're afraid to come forth and be publicly examined.
Scrutinized,
And the only people they're being examined by is their own committees and their own appointees and all of this other stuff, and can't have enough cojones to come before the Bahamian public and address the concerns of Bahamian public in a public affair so that we can know who is representing us. See, we get so caught up in party politics that we forget that there are people out there who may not care about party, who may not care about anything. They may just put an independent vote across. And we need to be mature enough in this country to have debate, public debate, about issues concerning Bahamians. And I think it's that's one thing I can say I appreciate with the United States.
Yes.
And Don, if you want to be a leader, then you need to get up there and say why you need to be in the position you are. If you want to be an MP for a specific constituency, you need to be publicly examined and showed why you could stand up to that.
Yeah.
And from the King Hammers to the Hatchet, I've never seen any party, I don't care who it is, come up and say, listen, you know something? We need to start having some public debates about some of these issues, And we need to have an open stage where I'm not even talking about people from the public coming in and questioning them. I'm talking about a panel where they're just like how they do it in the United States.
Yes.
And air these things out. I don't think no politician in this country has the cojones to say, I am willing to do that and actually make it happen.
Well, thank you so much, Carl. Some have said that they are willing to do it. What about you, Mr. Isaacs? Is that something you would participate in? A public debate where
Hold on.
questions?
I've talked to him in person. I've heard Mr. Smith talk in person. You got chalk in a debate if you take it, young blood. You got chalk.
But I think the public would like to see some of these debates in the constituency,
Of
so
course.
they can help make a decision.
Definitely. No, man. I believe it's
And I think
part
that
of our responsibility to be able to stand and deliver. To come to the people, not just behind closed doors, not just in an informal setting, but and voice your vision. I know my vision for West Grand Bahama is ultimately to see a second city in the second city. Carmichael here in Nassau,
right?
We call it City 2000. I believe that 8 Mile Rock, West Grand Bahama, can be City 3000.
There you go. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ and your guests. I'm so glad the Shadow Minister of Tourism is focusing on the tourism product and the consumer. On Monday, I saw a group of tourists with babies in strollers and a special needs child in a wheelchair tripping and stumbling on the sidewalk opposite the police headquarters, trying to avoid some fallen black cables.
Oh, wow.
And I watched the wheelchair get stuck in an exposed manhole in front of the Treasury.
Ooh.
Who is maintaining and looking after these basic public needs and the tourist product? Hold on. We spend tens of millions of dollars advertising to get tourists to come here. What is the effect of when they come and they get seriously injured because of the absence of safe sidewalks? What then happens to our global reputation as a destination when these tourists or their young children have to go to PMH? This is not a light issue. And I agree.
No, I agree.
That is a red flag that needs to be addressed right away, because that could balloon into something else, mushroom into something else.
It has. Many a times, Naughty, you would have, we had mishaps that happened here on island, but hats off to the veterans in the visitor relations department at the Ministry of Tourism. I have always been in awe. They're Johnny on the spot, and we need people like them. And young people to come into the Ministry of Tourism, have fresh new eyes, and be able to help. Not just when something bad is happening, but little things like that.
Yeah.
Can someone explain to me why they are digging up all the sidewalks? They're making them lower so that cars can pull on the side when the emergency vehicles are passing. I can't understand why they're doing this.
Those sidewalks are very expensive.
Contract
So to think
for
we're digging them
electioneering,
up.
maybe?
You got it. You got
Those
it.
sidewalks are very expensive. You shouldn't
got
just
it.
be digging them up for no good reason.
Good afternoon, Naughty, MJ, and your guest. Rick Fox got a nomination. Clint Watson did not get a nomination. By the way, the PLP is going to hate on Rick Fox just like how the Democrats are hating on Nicki Minaj because of her politics.
That's a weird correlation.
Wow, that's really
Weird
correct.
correlation. All right, you're listening to Talking Heads on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM with Naughty, MJ, and our very special guest, the ratified candidate for the Free National Movement for the West Grand Bahama constituency, Omar Isaacs. Our conversation continues after this break.
Feeling that you was being had. Don't that shit that make you mad? They treat you like a slave. Put chains all on your soul and put whips up on your back. They be lying through their teeth. Hope you slip up off your path. I don't switch up, I just laugh. Put my kicks up on their desk. Unaffected by they see. That's how that Chatel made me. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold.
With
Don't make
fine
nobody.
style, with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then fine threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then fine threads is your place. With fine style, with elegant taste, then fine threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances, so come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Forget them flower, forget them check. You know it's Tommy, get the respect. AP is hot, we sitting close. Breeze on your lip, that's how I know. You is my person, that ain't no secret. You share wing, I might love buckets.
8 tasty pieces of chicken, thighs and legs for just $20. Add a large side for $5. This February, love deserves a bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good.
Get ready for the biggest football game of the year, Super Bowl 60. We have the best seat in the house for you. Join Star 106.5 All-Star Team live at Anthony's on Paradise Island on Super Bowl Sunday, February 8th from 2 to 6 p.m. Enjoy giant screens, delicious fun food, ice-cold Calig Bear specials, prizes and surprises non-stop. It's the place to be for Super Bowl Sunday. Anthony's on Paradise Island. Watch the Patriots take on the Seahawks.
Touchdown! Seahawks!
The Star 106.5 All-Star Team will be there to cheer you on from 2 to 6 p.m. It's the biggest Sunday of the year for the biggest game of the year, Super Bowl 60, live at Anthony's on Paradise Island. Don't miss it.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty and Mary Jane. Only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM.
Kane is in the building.
Already the show goes on all night.
We're back at you on the Wednesday, February 4th edition of Talking Heads. Your boy Naughty along with MJ and your company right up until 6 p.m. And we're wrapping things up with our special guest, Mr. Omar Isaacs, ratified F&M candidate for West Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama.
Yes, you got it.
Boom. There you go.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Isaacs, because the question that will come before, of course, we have elections at the candidate level, but, you know, people want to see a vision from parties. They want to see an overall vision for the country. What is the Free National Movement's vision for the country? And do you think that your leader, Mr. Michael Pintard, and the team that he's assembled now, do you think that you guys can execute on that vision?
Oh, most definitely. First, it comes with being qualified. He has surrounded himself with some qualified candidates. That's first and foremost. But there are points all through our campaign that we have not missed. When we speak about healthcare, the leadership has been dead focused. Our chairman, Dwayne Sanson, ex-minister of health, he has spoken about the A&E being able to get Princess Margaret up to snuff. And I wouldn't even shout about the Rand Memorial Hospital. He has been able to tell us, listen, this is what needs to happen. And everyone is step for step behind him. Education is another very big hot button topic, along with immigration. Immigration, the shield. We are behind that particular policy modification because it's not really surrounding, our immigration problem is not surrounding persons who, it is about the illegals. How are we going to be able to stop them at the border or be able to intercept them? I don't want persons to get that misconstrued. And there's in tourism, there's a host of problems right now that this leadership has been able to put to the forefront and will be able to clarify once the manifesto comes to fruition.
All right, let me get these other couple of texts in. Naughty and MJ, what's up with the cannabis bill? If you don't pass it now, you will lose. Liberate the people now, free their minds.
Cannabis bill, that's been shelved, right? Or they're still working on it?
Ping pong, back and forth.
Okay, I'm not sure what's happening there. Dexter.
Naughty, in reality, debate is cheaper than a rally. It is true. I agree.
That is very true. I would put it like
Yeah.
this. If I had a choice between watching a rally or watching a debate, I would love
a debate.
to see a debate. You know, that'd be so much better to get clarity on policy positions.
Good afternoon or good evening, Naughty and MJ, and to your guests. Will there be another cabinet plan meeting? Is the money really in the bank? Tell Anton he come out and face the Naughty.
I think he's talking about Grand Bahama. They had that cabinet meeting
Tell
recently.
me, will the nurses ever get sorted out? The labor union is next up to bat. They don't believe nothing the minister or team has to say.
No.
Remember, Minister Mitchell say don't talk to the press. Well, Muddo, who gives us answers? MJ and Naughty in the COI other than Lincoln can speak. I think the COI have his money. That MP Lewis is the real leader of the COI. Neither of them should speak.
I think we often hear from
Lewis
the leader.
nor Bain.
Bain. We hear from the deputy leader, Dr. McIver. She
I think
speaks
maybe
a lot.
Dr. McIver.
We hear from their chairman, Charlotte Green. She speaks a lot. But there is a fact that there are other candidates. Some of them we kind of know from certain instances, but they need to get out there because we are not familiar with the vast majority of their candidates. And that's just a fact, you know.
And a lot of their messaging is lost with their leadership. Good afternoon, Naughty and MJ. The government doesn't care about the sidewalks because the advertising dollars go to help the mega hotels. And unless they rent a scooter, those tourists get chauffeured past those sidewalks on a daily.
Yeah, talking about don't care. They don't care, period. I know we in Grand Bahama don't feel the love.
Right.
They don't care. And it's only been, 2 years, a little over 2 years now, since they blew through West Grand Bahama. And they made $500 million worth of promises, empty promises at that. And you know, I had this here queued up for you, Naughty.
I'm not one for making promises I can't keep. So here's what I'm laying on the table. It's a 3-year deal. This isn't some empty promise. It's a plan,
It was.
a commitment. And here's the kicker. If you like what we do in these 3 years, say, Kingsley, we want more.
Well, I'm here to tell Kingsley we don't want no more because you did nothing. We saw nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You
felt nothing.
You came in riding Obi's coattail, and I was just
Yeah, there's a lot of promises made.
Too many for us to stomach. Here's the thing now, for all your listeners, we've seen this show. We've seen these characters, and we know what we're going to get in the next general election if we go with them.
Right.
There's significance in some symbols.
Okay.
A crab versus a torch. For those young people who are trying to, launch their startup, I'm telling them, look to the torch. For those people right now who, because of BPL, can't keep your light on, you're bumping around in the dark, look to the torch to illuminate your future. The torch is what is going to carry us into the next Bahamas, and I'm blessed. I feel blessed to be around the table as one of the architects to the next Bahamas, that I am foot for foot behind Shannon Cartwright and Michael Pintard to lead that charge.
You talked about BPL just now, which brought up an interesting question in my mind. I know that the Prime Minister talked about a possible acquisition of the power company
goodness.
in Freeport. But remind me with West End and East End, those are government. You guys have BPL down there? What's the arrangement?
No, there's a contract with Grand Bahama Power Company. So
All right.
at one point, it used to be Freeport Power Company.
Yes, my dad worked for Freeport Power Company. I
so
remember.
it used to be Freeport Power, but then it was then changed into Grand Bahama Power, and there's a contract of distribution to East and West Grand Bahama.
Gotcha.
So if they really, really wanted to do something, they have a full jurisdiction to not extend that contract.
I understand what you're saying. Okay.
And then build their own grid outside the city limits of Freeport.
And show us
what you can do.
Show us what you can do, because it's quite interesting. You talk about it, and I know people heard you, but it bears repeating. West End is actually the capital of Grand Bahama.
Correct.
And so sometimes when the government, and this has been past administrations as well, talk about, such and such isn't happening in Grand Bahama, but you have these two ends of the island where you could really show what you can do. Like you don't have to even deal with the port in West Grand Bahama and East Grand Bahama. You could really, leave your mark, make your mark there, and show this is what should be happening for the whole of Grand Bahama. But that doesn't seem to happen.
No, like I made mention of, from Hepburn Town in the east to the village of West End, we have 26,000 consumers. That critical mass should be able to command certain amenities. Where do 6,000 consumers if we don't have no bank? We don't have one grocery store. We have a bunch of convenience stores.
Yeah.
These are the type of things. We have a port
Basic
of entry.
infrastructure.
Basic infrastructure, but even economics-wise, you can open up your port of entry in West End for commercial use again.
Right.
Instead of us in West Grand Bahama looking to the east, having to go uptown for everything, why not bring in a wholesale or create a wholesale market there in West End? These are the type of things that I would love to bring to the table, and I will seek to bring to the table when it's time for me to take the helm.
All right, let me get these texts in because we got to get to the wrap. Hi, Naughty and MJ, and to your guests. Shouldn't we have dedicated environmental and tourism product health inspectors, especially for highly trafficked tourist areas, to walk through downtown Nassau as to take your life in your hands? Also, look at the Nassau Public Library. It's a disgrace to look at and a lost opportunity to share our history. We need a caretaker government who cares about Bahamian people and the Bahamas.
True.
All right, here's another one. Can you let the... Look, I read your texter. We'll talk about the marijuana bill the next time.
We don't know what's happening with that. Sorry, texter.
Hey, Naughty, what you think about the Uber franchise coming to the Bahamas? Man, I trying to get 2 Uber licenses on the road right now.
Oh, boy.
What you talking about?
Oh, boy.
What about the Golden Yoke program? Hope the residents of Freeport get ready to dump this crew. Remember, MP Mitchell say don't talk to the press. Wonder what the PRP will campaign on.
That was such odd advice from I think he was acting in his capacity as chairman of the PLP to tell the prospective candidates don't talk to the media. I would think that you guys would want your voices out there, your ideas, your party's ideas as much as possible.
At this point in time, because a lot of them are very late in the game.
Yeah.
You have persons like myself who's being part in the pavement now for going on 2 years.
Right.
So whenever you get the opportunity to speak on platforms like this, and I'd like to humbly say thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
You're
every
always
day.
welcome.
Yeah.
You're always welcome.
Just remember, if you're successful, though.
Yeah.
And we got questions you need to bring you behind box.
We're gonna be asking the questions.
I can tell you this crew 5 years ago, but they knew Naughty and MJ every chance they get. Now,
Yeah.
crickets.
I remember.
Yellow-bellied sapsuckers.
I remember that. And it's so strange because the majority of them came on this show. We talked about a lot of stuff they had.
And their grandiose
ideas,
plans and all of that.
and now they're just very, very quiet and they don't want to talk anymore. But
Naughty and MJ has an idea. You can ask C. Alan Johnson to explain what the COI platform was supposed to be since they stole it from him, but don't comprehend what it says. None of the candidates knows what it's supposed to say. They don't speak to it. Please have the COI leader or the COI chairman deny this and call C. Alan Johnson's name when they deny this so he can respond. Then maybe we'll get an answer.
I think some of them do have ideas about what it is they want to do with that particular party. But, as you mentioned, Mr. Isaacs, it's a whole team approach.
Yes.
So when Bahamians evaluate, of course, we look at leadership. That's the focal point. So we'll be examining what are the strengths and weaknesses of Mr. Pintard, what are the strengths and weaknesses of our current Prime Minister, Mr. Davis. But we're also looking at the team around them.
Have to.
Because one man, one woman cannot do everything. We do understand that. So the question is, do they have competent people around them? That's important for us to know.
Very much so.
All right, let's get this text and call in real quick, and then we'll wrap with our guest. Naughty Brave Davis made a $700 million worth of promises to West Grand Bahama. Seawall, $220 million. Roads, $190 million. Airport, school, police station, defense force base, and dock. New high school, ambulatory kiosk station, fire station, police station, and wait, there's more. He said that if he doesn't fulfill these pledges, he won't offer in 2026. Brave and Kingsley should keep their word and not offer.
That's a lot of promises.
Very much so.
Empty promises.
Empty, because nothing came to fruition. Absolutely nothing.
Let's get this caller in. Talking Heads, you're the last one, so make it quick. Talking Heads.
Will do. $150,000 a year for the MP is inadequate. It's not enough.
Okay. How much do you think would work?
Last one, the pavement. The pavement should be a pure pavement, not an up and down hills and gully. No provision should be made for driveways and parkways. Allow the cars that have horsepower to drive over those, and let the pavement be for pedestrians and the prams and the trolleys and things like that. Smooth sailing, level ground.
And accessible. It has to be
for handicapped,
disabled, and accessible. Thank you so much, caller.
You're welcome.
So again, we're ready to wrap things down. Once again, thank you so much for being our very special guest here today. Is there anything else that you want to say to the Bahamian people, to your constituents in West Grand Bahama?
Yeah, well, what you have before you, everybody under the sound of my voice, is a younger leadership. I call it millennial leadership that we see coming into fruition. Our leader has taken it seriously to have younger leaders around the table with him. And I could say from my experience, to be able to have a leader that hears you out and will be able to act on what you advise, that's life-changing here in the Bahamas. So for the brain drain that we have in our country, I can say come back home. Because new leadership, new younger millennial leadership is on the way, and we look forward to serving.
We want to thank you for stopping by. Our platform is always here for you.
Thank you so
Nuestra
much.
casa es tu casa. So next time you're back in town, and we get you on and find out everything that's going on in West Grand Bahama.
Yes.
But continue being so candid and being available to the press and being able to answer as to what's going on in West Grand Bahama. And I can get that constituency name down.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, you and NJ continue to do well. Y'all continue to do well.
Thank you so much.
And for everybody who called in, texted and chimed in, good stuff. We'll do it again tomorrow right here on Talking Heads. Naughty back at you with my free pick of the day, brought to you by the Island Game. Today is Wednesday, and my free pick comes to you from men's college basketball. Number 10, Michigan State on the road, taking on Minnesota. Michigan State -8. I like it. Michigan State -8 over Minnesota. That's my free pick of the day. Play it and win with the Island Game. The game you know, the friends you trust, and the Island Game always reminds you to play responsibly. Naughty Johnny's restaurant can only be described as the experience you want to recreate again and again and again. Their motto is simple food done on crack conch fritters, and other Bahamian favorites. There's also an international flair that's guaranteed to offer something for everyone. Enjoy a good meal and listen to a live band on their patio Friday and Saturday nights, or brunch on Saturday and Sunday. Only at Naughty Johnny's restaurant in the Old Town Plaza, Old Fort. They're open 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday. Naughty Johnny's. Well worth the trip.
The fried chicken experts are back with a brand new way to enjoy your favorite sandwich. Introducing the Wrap Star. Crunch into the Wrap Star, full of flavor and wrapped in a warm grilled tortilla for that perfect crunchy bite. A classic made modern that's crunchy, melty,